Moving on from the camera equipment that this bag holds, it also has an additional pocket up top here, which is not huge, but I was still able to fit lots of stuff in it. So inflatable travel pillow was always handy. You just blow it up like a balloon, really good for the planes and buses. And also I would keep a bag of medications with us, Advil, allergy pills, so I was able to keep a whole bag of vitamins in here as well. Vitamins were a really good use of space. It's an extra bag, but staying healthy is so important, and jet lag is, you know, a very real thing that can mess with your immune system, mess with your sleep cycle. And of course, when you're traveling, it's a lot harder to eat well, it's harder to stay with your typical eating habits. Even if you're really, really healthy at home, it can be difficult to stay healthy on the go. Particularly where we went, a lot of meat, a lot of bread, not so many vegetables, and so staying healthy, taking our vitamins every day was something that kept us going and happy and healthy throughout the full 20 days that we were there.
Basically, in this bag, since we're doing airline travel, I have my one bag of liquids, which just has some like tinted moisturizer. And one of my tips and tricks is that for just like regular moisturizer, I have like some things like, you know, prescription stuff or what have you that you can't really adjust, and you just have to make sure that hopefully it fits. But other things like face moisturizer or night cream, I just get eye cream, which is already like concentrated and in this nice little container, and that totally works really well. So you can use it during the day if your skin's super dry, or you can use it at night, and then everything's great. So that saves space. I always bring eye drops, like these are allergy eye drops, because you never know when you're gonna be staying in a place that has like a cat, and I'm super allergic to cats, so allergy eye drops. Also, if you're traveling on a plane and you're wearing your contact lenses, you have to bring re-wetting drops because it gets so dry. I wear my glasses on the plane. So one of the best little makeup tips I have for women or men, whatever, is you need sunblock, right? Like very important, even if you're going to a place that is foggy, you always need to wear your sunblock. And so this is Physicians Formula. I don't think they make it anymore, but you can find it online. I found this on Amazon. And it is SPF 50, which is great. And it's like a powder, but it's kind of, it says it's translucent. It's not really translucent. I don't know. I think it gives like really good coverage, and it's not cakey at all. And I put it on with a brush, and I really like it. So, and then it has like your little mirror. So if you're in a bus and you just like want to like not look like total crap when you get off the bus, then you can just do it really easily. So that is one of my favorite things. You could just put your passport in here somewhere. There's this bag has like lots of nice little places where I could safely put my passport. However, I wanted something that like, I always keep my passport in here. So I could spot it and know that like, never lose it, right? Like, I will always know that my passport is in here. If I have this bag, my passport is in it. I'm like a freak about losing my passport. So I really wanted something that I could just, that I would never be like, oh my gosh, where did I put it? Which totally happened to this one American that we met when we were traveling, and we were at the border, and the guy almost had to like stop and pull over the van that we were in so this one kid could find his stupid passport because he doesn't always put it in the same place. So this allows you to always put it in the same place, and whether I was taking this bag with me during the day or not, the passport was always in here. So even if I left it in the hostel, whatever, it was always in here. So there's my passport. And then I also just I took one credit card, took my license, and took my health insurance card. And then you can always put cash in here too. We took out some cash beforehand, which is all gone now. I think I've used it since we got back. It also has enough room for a water bottle. Obviously, when you go through security at the airport, you have to empty that, but water bottles are absolutely a must when you're traveling. I have traveled to places where they're pointless because you can't get water in the bathroom. It's like, you have to buy water. But if the water is safe and clean, definitely bring a water bottle so you can fill up in wherever. Bathrooms, like sinks, wherever you find them, for free, because bottled water can be a huge expense that you do not want to spend money on if you don't have to. Which is a privilege if you don't have to spend money on water.
Lastly about this bag, it also comes with a water bladder pouch. So like a camelback, you've probably seen, you stick the bladder of water in here, and then a little hose runs out and you can hook it on the shoulder strap and you suck the water out of it. I did not bring one of those. Instead, I used this space for papers and things, and it was really, really good for that. So I too brought a handy dandy little passport organizer. Always kept my passport in here, kept an emergency credit card, kept my insurance cards, health insurance cards, kept emergency American money in here as well. If you ever get into a pinch, you can always count on a US dollar to be accepted pretty much anywhere. And so that was good. I would also keep boarding passes, any important documents always stayed in here. For the most part, it stayed in my bag because this slot was up against my back. I wasn't really worried about pickpockets getting into it. I would really kind of have to feel them, sticking their hand down the back of my neck to get to it. But also, it did have this strap so I could wear it like a necklace under my shirt if I wanted to keep it really close to my person at any time. Also in here, I too brought a small thin journal, not hardcover, which I found was really good for cramming it into places. Also, as some days the bag would be really full, and so having flexible things was good. Something that was not flexible that I also didn't use was my Kindle. Don't need to bring that either. And lastly is the patented Nate folded up manila folder for all of the other documents. It's a method that I don't know why I like, but I really like it. And so rather than bringing some sort of like big folder or like an actual like zippered thing or something, this was a really great place to collect all of our brochures and all of our ticket stubs and all of the memories, all of the maps of the places we went. This was a good place to store these. I also had emergency copies of our passports. I had our flight information, important documents that are, not really essential, but just good to have copies of. Also went in the patented manila folder titled Trip Docs.
Classic Nate.
I kept my water bottle in here throughout the trip, other little candy, chocolate, little snacks for the day, hand sanitizer. It also has this elastic thing as well, so sometimes I would stick the travel pillow underneath, or I would put, my scarf under there, so good attachment space on the outside as well. A really small bag. I could not believe how much stuff I was able to cram into it, and really comfortable to wear. I would definitely recommend if you're looking at bringing a bag like this on a trip, definitely do your research. Maybe don't do quite as much as I did, but definitely do a good amount, because when you're traveling light, when you're traveling with 4 bags, this doubles as both something that needed to carry a lot on the plane itself. I needed to be able to bring a lot in this bag because this was essentially half of my storage space for the trip. But it also needed to be functional, be able to give me quick access to what I needed when I needed it, and also it needed to be comfortable because this was essentially my purse for the trip. This was my wallet, this was my everything, and so I was wearing this bag many times all day, and it needs to be really comfortable, and so this bag definitely did the trick, and I would highly, highly recommend this bag. One of the best things that we brought with us too for backup was this. It's called the Nexto Extreme, I guess. I also know that they don't actually make this model anymore, but this company is still around. but it's great. All it is basically a hard drive in a metal case with just enough of a screen and an operating system for you to just make backups of whatever you need. So whether it's an SD card, whether you plug your camera directly in with a, so it takes an SD card, you can plug USB, various things into it. It's battery powered, rechargeable battery. And all it does is just make a backup copy of your data. So at the end of the day, after I would make backup copies of our footage on the computer and get it onto the external hard drive, I would take just the SD card itself, you stick it right in, and it makes one more backup. So it's kind of a good fail-safe, and also, as Debbie mentioned, if you're going to some place that doesn't have reliable electricity, charge this up before you leave, and it'll probably last you the whole trip in terms of making an extra copy, a backup of all your data. So this is one of our secret weapons right here. This is actually one of the best things that we bring with us.